let's say you did want to cast a spell to bring love into your life. After we've gone through all that business from before, where I give all my disclaimers about what I believe about love magic and all that kind of stuff. How would you go about that? If you're ready, you think. Well, I want you to draft up a petition with all the qualities of the person that you want to have a relationship with. Now, it may not be like a long-term relationship. Maybe whether it's your one true love or if it's Mr. Right Now. It doesn't matter. You're still going to want to get those qualities written down so that you will have an idea, and so that you will recognize that person when they come into your life. You know, I once cast a dating spell. Like, I want somebody that I can have fun with, who will go on adventures with me, or something like that. Nobody says you gotta find the love of your life right now, but it doesn't matter. No matter what you're looking for, you're gonna want to write those things down. And I'm looking for an oil. Give me a second. Okay, so I found the oil I was looking for. This is Now Essential Oils, which are perfect, not perfect for aromatherapy necessarily, but they're fine for baths, and they're fine for magical use, because they're not organic or whatever. But that's the roses, real roses went into making this, and it's not 100% Rose Otto, it's 5% oil blend. So it has rose oil and grapeseed oil, and this is perfect for a love spell. And this costs about $12. It's not very expensive if you get it diluted. It's going to be super expensive if you get the pure essential Rose Otter or Rose Otto or Rose Absolute in its pure form. It's going to be really fucking expensive. So this is your basic love spell. What else am I going to use? Let's see. I might use a little, hold on. I apologize for not being prepared, but it's like, I'm kind of doing this spur of the moment, because, you know, I really just didn't think ahead when I did this. And this is how I do my magic anyway. It's really very, oh, grab a little of this, grab a little of that. So you're going to draft up a petition, and this is how I like to make my petition papers. I take a little bit of a paper bag, and I burn the edges. I don't know, for some reason this is aesthetically pleasing, but it's also kind of consecrates the paper. It makes it look really cool, and it takes minimal effort rather than having to have parchment paper. Just burn the edges of the paper. Don't let it burn too much. Just a little bit on the edges until it has a nice border to it. So, brown paper bag with burnished edges, and you can just see it. You can let it burn a little more if you like more of a burnished edge. I don't think it's really all that necessary. Hold on. So you need a pen, and so what I'm going to put on this, since this spell is basically for another person, I'm going to put the querent's name, I'm not really sure what she's looking for, but I'm going to find happiness and contentment and love. And protect her heart. Now, if this is your spell that you're doing for yourself, you can be really, really specific. And this is really just an example. The reason I'm using the woman who asked me to do this video's name is because that way I'm not casting a magic spell that's going to go to waste. And I'm being unspecific because I don't know exactly what she wants. If I consulted her, if I'd done a reading for her in this area, I might have been more specific. This is really generalized, and it's not going to hurt her. It's only going to help her. So this is just general stuff to help her find what she's looking for. And so, and I'm going to draw a great big old heart over that, over her name and over the petition. And I'm going to dress the edges of the paper with rose oil. Now, there's a lot of different love oils out there. This is just really simple. Rose oil will get the job done. You can't really go wrong with rose oil in a love spell. You just can't. Roses are the quintessential symbol of love. It's like the distilled essence of love, basically. But roses are good for a number of different things, like psychic power and spirituality and femininity and a lot of other things. But love is the first thing we think of when we think of roses, because we're always giving roses to people we love. And so the edges of the paper are dressed in rose oil. And put like a drop of it right over the heart. Okay, and let that absorb into the paper. And I'm gonna take some roses. I'm dropping shit all over the place. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's wonderful. I'm gonna just take a few little rose petals and put them in this petition. And a little bit of rosemary. Now, rosemary, the reason I choose rosemary is very generalized herb. It's good for a lot of different things, but rosemary is for female domination. And since I want to protect her heart, make sure her heart, it's also for protection. I want to protect her heart and make sure that she doesn't get her heart broken, doesn't get taken advantage of by people that she draws into her life. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And I'm going to put in a little bit of patchouli for attraction. Now, this patchouli comes from a witch's garden from my wonderful witch friend Donna, who sends me a little bit of patchouli every year, and it's really fresh, and it's really earthy and smells so good. I love patchouli. Not everybody loves patchouli, but I love patchouli. Honeysuckle. I got both flowers and leaves in here. I'm going to use a couple of the flowers. Now, this is for sexuality. Honeysuckle is great for lust. And a little bit, this lavender, and this is lavender from my friend Donna's garden as well. It smells beautiful. I'm going to put that in there, and lavender is for luck. It's for purification, but it's also for love. And I want her love, her ideals to stay pure and to keep her standards high. And I also got a little bit of honey. I'm going to put that in there just to keep things sweet for her. Just a little dab of honey, and you know, you always taste honey. Whenever you use it in magic. I think that comes from hoodoo. But there's a lot of goddesses that honey is sacred to. Oshun, I don't work with Oshun, but I just think honey being ruled by goddess energy, I still honor it in that way. So yeah, I taste my honey when I use it in magic. So I'm going to fold the corners in on this petition and make it kind of like an envelope, corner to corner. You're supposed to fold it towards you. And if this is yours, you definitely need to fold it towards you. So you turn it in such a way that every time that you fold it toward you. And we're just going to tuck in this last bit so that it's folded properly. I'm going to seal this with just a little bit of wax. This is rose scented wax that I'm melting in my wax burner. To help hold it shut. And I'm going to press down. It's going to be a little messy, but we don't care. We don't care. We clean up our messes afterwards. So there's this little petition, which I'm then going to place in the wax heart I am making for her. Now, wax heart has roses in it. It has some. It has an amethyst crystal and some moonstones and some rose quartz. And I'm going to melt that wax the rest of the way down before I pour it on top of the petition, because I want the petition to be contained inside the heart. And even though I sealed the petition with wax, it probably wasn't necessary, but I just felt I was feeling it at the time. So I'm going to raise some energy up here and call upon my higher power to bring energy into my body. And I can feel the buzzing in my hands as the energy collects there. I'm going to send love and the peace that comes from confidence and bliss, divine love most of all, self-love most of all, into this little spell that I'm creating for her. And so I'm going to set that aside for now. So I'm going to wait, and I'll probably enchant it again once I have melted enough wax. I think I'm going to put another one in there for this spell for her. And so there you go. That's this really simple love spell. I mean, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Magic does not have to be complicated at all. At all. Just make it your own. The most complicated thing about magic is your intent and making sure you're clear in your head what you want, and empowering that with your emotion, with your connection with the divine. And it's really all there is to it. Now, if the hard part comes in between the spells while you're clearing out all the gunk and the bullshit that keeps that power from flowing through you, that power of the divine from flowing through you, and that mucks you up in your intentions and your goals, and it blocks you up. But if you get that out of the way, your spells can be just thrown together and still be fine. Still be great. So there you go. Again, love y'all. Blessings.